Live.
Oh,
How you doing, buddy?
it's been Sunday's been awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you've had a real great string of just the awesomest Sundays.
At least I didn't spend this Sunday at Nissan, but this was equally as bad.
Ooh.
I had to make the 4 a.m. run to go get some of the bottle treatment.
Great.
Yeah. So I didn't really fall asleep till 6:30, only to be up by 7:30 to go meet Dan to go over the jobs, which he has proceeded to call me on every one of them. Like I'm supposed to remember something I looked at in April. Well, you remember the drain and the chipped curb here? Are we doing anything with that? And it's like,
You have to have a piece of paper that tells you what you're doing. It was
no,
6 months
like,
ago.
he's so he has an overhead like a big bright yellow areas. Like those are the areas I want you to do.
Yeah.
It might not be 100% accurate, could be a couple feet either way, but
Sure.
it's the general idea. This place gets replaced and put back. This other place gets replaced, and then you're done. Then you go to the next site. It's been on top of having no sleep and shitting my fucking brains out.
Ooh.
Like,
Not a good combo.
Hey, I'm on antibiotics. I'm right there with you.
and like, you know what that? I mean, you get like, I get almost the same thing you do with the constipation is right under your rib,
Yep.
and it feels like this mass.
It's like I describe it like a stone. Like it's just
Oh.
this stone that's moving through
Yeah.
you.
Well, and it just
Welcome to the
when it
live
happens
stream,
to me, when it happens to me, it doesn't move. Like
Yeah.
it sits right up underneath my rib cage, so I can't lean forward.
Yeah.
I can't overly stretch out. I gotta sit like perfectly still and just sit here and just feel it just go.
Just
"Kee,
wish for
kee,
death.
kee, kee." It's just this cramping feeling. I'm like, the last time I had it wasn't too bad, and I was able, go soak in the shower for like 20 minutes. Everything started moving. Everything was good.
I took a hot shit in the shower. Everything was fine.
Well, no, I mean it's like the whole world's backed up. I guess it's what I get for going to a fucking pig roast.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's worth it.
Eating 5 pounds of pork. I mean, I'm all backed up.
Yeah.
So then, and like this started happening around. I could kind of feel it coming at probably around 1:30.
Oh,
I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna sleep through
just
it.
lock it down.
I'm just gonna sleep through it, and then at 2, quarter to 3 in the morning, I rolled over and I was just like, oh mother,
Oh, the stabbing.
and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna hop in the shower, just kind of relax. So I do that.
Sit
run
down in
out
the
of
shower.
I run out of hot water.
That's it.
Run out of hot water, and I'm like, all right, dry myself off, try and curl up with an ice pack. Just like I hate my life. Like knees and my like oh, make it stop.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, I can't take this. You think there's more hot water left? And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna get back in the shower. So do that twice, and then at that point, I'm like, it's 4:40 in the morning at this point. I'm like, fuck it, I need to find a 24-hour store. So luckily, the Giant Eagle has the bottle,
Oh, nice.
and then
The bottle.
well, dude, it's the Citra Magnesium. It's a bottle. It's this big. It is clear. It is human Drano.
It's the worst. I've only taken it once. It's the only thing that was worse was when I had to go for colonoscopy and whatever battery acid they give you before that. Which, by
Isn't
the
that
way,
barium?
It's probably this.
it's not barium, and it's not
Oh.
this because it tasted different. And
Really?
and I had to drink 128 ounces of it.
That's a
this
lot.
It's
this
a
comes
lot.
in. Yeah, this comes in. I think it's a 12-ounce.
Yeah,
bottle.
it's not much, but it does its job.
But what they tell you is like you need to drink as much water as the bottle, so you're
Yeah.
really getting 24 ounces of this stuff pumping through you.
Yeah.
So I get I get there, and of course it's a wonderful experience at 4 a.m. at the
At
Giant
the
Eagle.
Eagle.
At the Eagle. So I get in there and I'm like, all right, so where is this? And I go like, my first instinct is go to the incontinence aisle. And
no, it makes sense. Yeah.
no, it's not in the incontinence aisle.
It's in the opposite.
It's in the other aisle with the cold medicine. Like,
okay.
So I get my stuff. I get my bottle of water. I'm like, okay. So then I go to the self checkout.
Oh God.
I don't have a Giant Eagle Advantage card.
Well,
I just
how
don't.
dare you?
Tired of it. They will not let me use the self checkout. So I'm like,
really?
All right. Yeah. So at this point, like, I'm like, all right. So this happens. Unscrew the cap. I chug half of it. So then I go up there and like, all right. So I'm standing in line behind this dude. Meanwhile, the person at the self checkout aisle next to me has come over with, I shit you not, probably 9 different universal remotes from Giant Eagle. Like, no idea where he found these things, let alone there's a brand, let alone 9 brands for him to buy. And every one he scans, the light starts blinking.
Oh my
so
God.
She goes from ringing this dude out to helping him to ringing another item out back to helping him. And I'm just sitting there like, oh Jesus! Like I'm like my face is on the belt, just like as
I
it's
also
running.
like that you've drank half of it in the hopes that putting you under the gun will make this go faster. When you know life is going to throw you a curveball and give you the opposite.
So anyway, so this is going on. And he gets wrung out finally, and I get up there, and then this guy's like, miss. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Drink the rest of it. Open the bottle of water, and I start chugging that. And I'm sitting there like, I'm really going to pay for 2 empty bottles of stuff at this point. All right. So, and then, why? Hello? Everything's cool, parking's fine. Alrighty. Thanks, Bailey. Alrighty. Alright, bye. That's curveball number, I don't know, I lost count today. Wow. So, anyway, so I'm here in the line, and then she finally comes over to ring me out. She's like, were these open when no, I drank them in line. I really need to get moving because
literally
either it's gonna be
let me clean
up on aisle 9 like now, or I get in the car and I mess my car up.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, and then I'll go. No, it gets better. So as I'm being wrung out, this guy just the other guy still isn't finished checking out his 9 remotes. All I hear is, motherfucker, throws something on the ground and walks out.
Awesome.
I'm like, so I ring out. I'm like, thanks, I'm out. I go in this guy, like I'm behind him in the parking lot. This guy's motherfucking the world the whole way out. So I get home and it finally, like, another hour and a half of shit settling, figuratively and literally. Like, and I just, like, all right, so, okay, so I finally fall asleep. My alarm goes off. I'm like,
oh, no.
God.
Sweet release.
All right, suck it up, put a cork in it, go to work. Meanwhile, I go over all the stuff that I had to go over with him today. So I get all this shit done, like I go through every property. And then the other foreman decides to show up, so I got to start all over again. I'm like, meanwhile, I'm having like the lava farts.
Yeah.
Like, or I
got the bubble guts.
I can't tell if something escaped with it. They're so hot.
Yeah.
So
but you know, there's a 50-50 chance.
Right. So, like, yeah, I'm real happy I wear really tight underwear. So, anyway, so I get this. I get through this. Oh yeah, these are done. Like I'm throwing these away. At the end of the night.
Send those on fire.
These are gone.
Yeah.
So I get this done, and I'm like, okay. And I think things finally settled into, it's not full blown madness going on. It still haven't gone yet, by the way. So I'm fully am aware of the mess that's going to happen.
Just the gates of hell opening.
So
Sphincter of hell, really.
as I'm driving home,
Oh no.
I go pick up my coffee because I need something at this
No.
point other than water. So, and then my phone starts ringing again. My boss is calling me. He's like, "Hey, do you know the striping layout for a blah 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 place?" I'm like,
I
"What?"
can't do this right now.
Number one, I didn't even know they were doing that this weekend, and number two, they don't have that. He's like, "Well," he's calling me. "Do you want me to go out there?" He's like, "Oh no, don't go." He's like, "No, fuck it, I'll go." So then I'm on another detour over to this. I get them all straight, get them done what they're gonna do. I'm finally free to go home. So I'm on my way home, and then the guy I just went over all these projects with in the morning is calling me from the site, asking me the most minute details. Bear in mind, I haven't seen these properties since April.
Oh, that's only 6 months ago.
April.
You have great memory.
He's like, "Well, I don't see any marks on the ground. I don't know what I was supposed to do." I was like, "You took the overheads with you, right?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, but there's no marks on the ground." I know, fluorescent paint doesn't last 6 months, Dan. You know that, right?
I put lines on the ground with a picture from space.
Yes.
So figure that out.
Yeah. So then he goes, "Okay, well, I'm gonna call you back when I get to the next area." At this point, it's knocking on the door.
You're just gonna be talking to me from the bathroom.
Right. So he calls up. I'm like, "Hold on, Dan." I set the phone down next to the bowl and I just let loose. And I'm like, I put him on speakerphone. It's like, "Hey, all right, Dan, you want to keep talking?"
I got something going on here.
And it's like, it's not just like your normal sit down, plop, go. It's like, oh, like you're sweating and just like,
It's the cold sweat, the tears.
It's work.
Yeah, you're putting in an
Make it
8-hour day.
You're trying to get your feet up so you're not trying to get you're not trying to get
You're making
everything
your own
everywhere.
squatty potty.
Like it's almost want to stand up on it to get like the good spread.
It's the best stream we've ever done.
So
Yeah, I mean we can just call it from that once we're done here.
So it's this is the kicker of the night. So I finally dozed off maybe an hour ago. I get a phone call, the guy that just called me back, that the hotel that Bridget booked them in doesn't allow commercial vehicles on the property.
Amazing.
So now I have to, and that's when you sent me that text. I was in the middle of scrambling trying to find another hotel because I have 17 people staring at each other right now.
Oh.
Right now. And none of them can use a phone. Like, you got a company credit card, figure it out.
Or like look across the street where there's probably another hotel because they travel in
No,
packs.
it's even better. The hotel they're in now is right next door. Like,
Awesome.
Not only can you walk to it, you can see it with your eyeballs.
that's just, and then like, no, Boomer, fuck off. All right. So anyway, and then the last thing out of his mouth was, "Hey, are they smoking rooms?" I'm like, motherfucker.
It's
just you have to
2015.
have a bed.
It's
Well,
2015.
no,
They're
that
not
was the whole.
smoking.
They made such a shit about this, and Bridget found smoking rooms that apparently allowed pets because we're bringing the dogs too for some reason.
Huh.
That was my Sunday.
That sounds like an
Sounds
awful,
like
awful
it's
Sunday.
pretty shitty.
Let's make it better.
I'm exhausted and like I'm out there, Jerry. I'm out there.
All right. I'm excited for this stream now.
Well, and I only played one thing, so like that's all I had time to do this week was Monday night.
Binary Viking says Knobs is going to explode mid-show.
Oh no, it'll be like a big can. I'll aim for this spot on the wall, like right here.
Hold on, I have a gift for this. Let me find it.
It's just
I'm a
gonna
little scared.
splat. What? A GIF of me moving around?
No, of the result.
Oh.
I've got this one. Don't worry.
I am worried.
You should be worried. It's hilarious. All right, Twitch chat, where are you? There we go.
Well, I'm not in Twitch chat, so...
Well, I'll put it in Skype chat, too.
I'm a little nauseous. Oh,
Yep.
God.
That's,
No.
Yep.
No.
That's about right, huh?
No.
Yep.
Nope. Can't do it. All right, you gents ready to kick off this non-scat related episode?
You don't know that.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, alright, well, Mr. Blowout is ready.
All right.
Hello, Dr. Blowout.
For the sake
10
of brevity.
years of poop school, be called Mister. Hannah, don't write that down.
Oh, I'm writing that down. That's got to make it to the cast.
But, I mean, I don't know many people that understand, like, the pain that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, people say it's like, oh, I mean, you just take some Mucinex. Yeah, no, that stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, Mucilex, Mulex, what is it?
The orange stuff.
The big green cap thing? Purple.
Metamucil?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
It doesn't work. I drunk. Like, I literally filled a bottle up of this and chugged it. And
God, that's the worst.
And
nothing.
Like, literally a whole container of that stuff.
Just burping orange.
All
right, you guys ready?
Trying to figure out what I ate yesterday that did it.
Pork. A pig.
A pig. Most of a pig.
The pig was earlier in the day, because it was pig. Didn't have any potato salad. I just had green beans, chicken, and I think they had potatoes. How can I not remember what I ate yesterday?
It's a good question. You kind of had a rough day.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm running on 2 hours, so...
Nice.
Gonna be fast and loose.
Hopefully.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
Hi.
And we have the Hannah.
How you doing?
Let's not talk about what we talked about in the pre-show. If you really want to witness that, go watch the live stream archive at your peril.
At your peril.
I'm so sorry.
Story time.
That's one word for it.
I do have a way of telling a story, so...
Let's get right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Hey, well, I really had a chance to play a game. Oh, no, I take it back. I did two. Alright, so... Monday night game night. Always a good time. We had some new faces. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I'm sorry I can't remember who was new.
But we love you very much.
Right now, but thank you. Come, bring friends.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Donnie's a riot. And we're always having a good time.
Yeah.
So, come join us Monday nights, 10 p.m. EST for Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One. It's always a good time. And you can probably talk us into playing that whenever anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played some more soul-sucking Tony Hawk again.
Ooh.
Why?
I just want, like, because I have this notion that at some point it's going to click. It has to.
No.
At some point it has to make sense.
It's not that kind of bad.
I like your bad game optimism. Where you're like, if I just stay with it, if I just stay in this abusive relationship, it will get better.
It's been so long since that's ever paid out for me. Or,
yes.
Has panned out.
Since 2014. Mm-hmm. Since before DBZ.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. This whole year has just been awful.
Yeah. It has been one string of video game...
Yeah, why am I in purgatory?
Decisions.
What did I do?
Yeah.
It's probably because I bought an Xbox.
That's probably it. Hey, PS4's getting a price drop.
That's true.
Hey, you know what? I can't be turned right now.
Fair enough.
You know why? Because there's no Donnie.
Fair enough.
he writes a lot of wrongs.
Oh man.
But no, it's like the tricks and the different skaters and I just don't. I mean, I miss how much fun. Maybe it's just I remember it so fondly of what that game was.
Yeah.
That maybe any sequel is never going to live up to that.
Well, I mean, I think the real strength of Tony Hawk was it's that crazy game you get, once a generation, where it's right game at the right time, and enough people have the console, and you can master it really well, but somebody can kind of pick up, playing Tony Hawk 1 and 2, you could give somebody a controller and just say hey, this button makes you go fast, hit a bunch of directions in the air and you'll do tricks. Yeah. And within 30 minutes, they'll figure it out, and while they're failing, they're scraping their face on the floor. And that's fun in and of itself. So it's it was this perfect storm of a game that it looked good enough, it played well enough, it kind of anybody could play it, but if you wanted to get way deep into it, you really could, and you could pull off crazy stuff. And I feel like ever since Tony Hawk 3, they've had a really hard time recreating that magic. That's something.
Well, I think what it's doing is running into the Mortal Kombat failings, where when that game's simple, it's at its best.
Yeah.
When that game becomes more complicated and the moveset becomes beyond, I wouldn't say a beginner level or even a novice, but where it just becomes overly complicated. It's complicated for the sake of being complicated.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff is harder to pull off because it's a cool move, but
it's complicated, it's not complex.
Well,
right.
Yeah, but I mean, with what happened with the animalities and fatalities, where those became anywhere between 6 to 8 inputs.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Yep.
And just weird, down, back, diagonal, forward, that stupid Street Fighter move that I hate.
Ugh.
But within sweep distance, but not any closer or further.
Right, or you're not gonna perform it. It's no, just do the move.
Yeah. I think that's what happened to Tony Hawk. I think is something that we're still seeing happening to Assassin's Creed, where it started with this simple thing that everybody seemed to like, and then it sold really well, and everybody loved it. So they're like, great, let's get a ton of people on it. Let's put a new one out every year, every 18 months. And you could look at Tony Hawk and see Tony Hawk 3 was still an okay game. Never clicked with me. There's something off about it. But ever since that game, it's sort of now you can get off the board. And it's I didn't want
Why would
that.
you do that?
No.
And then
it was skateboarding game. Now you can walk. Great. That's an innovation.
And it's this one's open world. And it's I don't think I want that either. No. Tony Hawk 5, it's you get dropped in an online lobby with a whole bunch of other people. And it's I don't want that either. I don't want any of this.
Screaming children, just what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yay!
Coach Jamal in chat says, isn't it more probable that the new makers of the game just don't know what the hell they're doing? I think they know what they're doing, but I think they've missed what the spirit of Tony Hawk is. I think, to me, and I think I played a game that reminded me this week that reminded me a lot of something from Tony Hawk 2. Something great about Tony Hawk 1 and 2 that I feel has gotten worse and worse over the series is, man, I had a great combo, but I just totally, ate it 30 seconds into this run, a 2-minute run. Hit start, hit retry, and you're back into it.
Yeah.
With Tony Hawk 5, you hit the start, and then you hit retry, and it loads, and has a 3-second countdown, and it has 3 other things until you get back into this thing, and you don't have that loop of I screwed up, let me just try again.
Well, yeah, the quick replay, and that was one of the things, when you were trying, case in point, the warehouse, 1-1. Where you're dropped in, you take the big thing, and you take the hard right. You do your big jump, up, down, over, through the glass, grab the videotape, land on the rail.
Yep.
And then, by that time your special's built, you're doing that crazy,
Christ
Headbanger,
Air.
Headbanger. Oh, that was my favorite tie-in.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah.
Rune's the best. Man, I was hoping Rune was gonna be in this because the big Christ Air to the pulls out the boom box. The game was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's that sort of... To me, the quick restart in a game like this is so fundamental to the Tony Hawk experience that And I get it, like, games are way more complicated now. When you look at Tony Hawk 2, that's like a 480i game. And it's, each place has like 4 textures. It's not as complicated as something where you're recreating Little Wheezy in your game and now he's riding a skateboard. There's just so much stuff that's so different, but there's got to be a way to recreate that nowadays.
Yeah,
that's Tony Hawk. Is this like, I screwed up? Let me try.
You know what it is? Plug in your PlayStation or Dreamcast.
Yeah,
like that's the only way I can have that fun again.
Well, and the worst part is that's what you have to do because the HD remake they came out with messed with the whole physics system, and you can't even say like, oh well, just if you got a PS3 or 360, just download this thing and you're good. You can't even say that.
Mm-hmm. No, but if you got a Vita or a PS3, you can download the original 2 right to your system.
That's true. You might. Can you? No, PS1 and PS2 games aren't on PS Now yet.
No, not yet. Yeah, bummer.
But even at that point, even when you do Biff, like it takes so long for him to get back up and respawn on the board.
If you don't bounce and go into the stratosphere.
Right.
The other game, you reminded me of another game that had a really good start retry loop. Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge. The crash modes, it was like if you there's going to be a tanker passing by at this moment. If you don't hit that tanker, you're not going to get the explosion big enough. So it's like, I soared right over it. All right, retry, and it sets you right back down.
Well, the crazy taxi challenge modes had that right. It didn't have your countdown. It just put you right back, and you're like shooting like a bullet. Like you had to be on point when you hit that button.
It's just, I mean, that's a menu design 101 thing. Like that should have been from the front. Like
menu design, what the game design. You don't want you to get back in the game immediately.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it should be taken into account right up front. It shouldn't just be like, let's tag on a retry mode, but let's put it like 5 options down, so you have to click your stick like 3-4 options.
Well, even that, like even you hit start doesn't pull a big menu off to the right. It pulls up like the challenges, and you gotta the menu system's so laid out so weird too.
Yeah,
like trying to figure out what you have to do.
Yeah, and it's kind of disappointing because I'm sure that the technical reason is something having to do with streaming textures and RAM and loading an area again, but these consoles have so much RAM this time around. I'm surprised that that's still
even a concern.
Problem.
Yeah,
it's disappointing.
Well, even when they brought the graphics down to a more manageable style. Mm-hmm. Should have solved all these problems. And I don't understand on a game that has not a lot in it per level that I'm getting a loading screen for the challenge in the level I'm in.
Yeah, and the frame rate is bad.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so disappointing. Like, I feel badly beating up on a game because I know that the developers didn't want to put out a bad game. I'm sure it's way out of their control. It's just such a bad game on every front.
Yeah, just so adding to my day.
Yeah.
All right, Hannah, what have you been playing this last week?
Oh, I've been playing all sorts of stuff. I actually fired up Quake for a little while this afternoon because I just needed something. Yeah, so a while back I installed a bunch of engine mods for Quake. And just wanted to sort of test them out. It's the Dark Places engine mod. It just brings in a bunch of different. It's as 90s as it sounds,
but very thematically appropriate for Quake 1.
Exactly. It's I just every once in a while I want to play a dumb fast shooter and listen to music or just do something. Just I needed a mind wipe today after some of the Destiny stuff I was playing. I just needed a clean slate.
I had that same thought yesterday when I was sort of struggling. I wasn't playing anything I was enjoying yesterday. I was like, you know what? I need to just fire up Super Mario World.
Yeah.
I just need to play Super Mario World and just have a good time.
Yes.
I didn't, unfortunately.
That was this. This is. I'll get into why I ended up firing this up in a minute here. Played a bunch of Luminous Supernova the other night because it was just sitting on my PS3 and my wife was asleep and I'm like, all right, I want to play something. So I fired that up for a little while. Got about an hour in. I was just like, oh, this game's awesome. It was one of those moments where it was
pulled me back in.
I forgot how like the music has always been like the first Luminous is the top tier music. Like that's the best music that's ever been in that game. Supernova is a real close second.
Yeah,
it's really good. And it's weird the tiny mechanical changes between like Electronic Symphony and Supernova are like they make all the difference. So you know those cross blocks you get when they're touching the same color, it just sort of highlights all of them and it wipes that entire color. In the original, in Luminous 2, and in Supernova, they work completely differently from the way they work in Electronic Symphony. In Electronic Symphony, they don't have to be part of a match. In Supernova, they have to be part of a match.
Really?
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a lot harder to use them. You have to actually put them in a block of 4 match for them to actually trigger their effect.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know. I don't remember that.
Yeah, go back and play the original Luminous for a little bit, and it'll come back to you really quick.
Yeah.
That actually makes not Supernova, Electronic Symphony just a tiny bit easier in some ways.
Yeah.
So played a whole bunch of that. Played a ton of Rocket League this Wednesday with we had a full party, a full 8 people from the community playing Rocket League. That is one of the best times I've had playing that game, is when we get a full party on a Wednesday night and we do 4-on-4 and it's utter chaos.
Oh, man.
Shout out to everybody who was there. You know who you are. We had John Connor 333, Binary Viking, Troy and Abed and AM, Team is still on the forums. We had tons of people coming in and out. I think Lance Freeman was there for a little while. My apologies if I forget anyone. I don't have the list in front of me right now, but it's always awesome to see that many people from the community on playing a game at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Rocket League is like the perfect game for that, for Wednesdays. So I'd like to keep it solid as long as possible.
Yeah, keep that train rolling, especially since they keep putting out more DLC.
Well, they keep putting out more DLC, and it's the only PS4 game that I think we found so far that there's a cap on the amount of people, but if we ever get over 8, we can just like split into 2 groups and like go online and like go up against other teams.
Yeah.
It
seems like it's really easy to not have to worry about it.
Yeah, and I know there was some talk of like switching up games. I wouldn't be opposed to switching up games. We'd have to find the right game.
Yeah.
It would have to be something that supported a decent amount of players without splitting us off into like individual groups or anything. So, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Played a little bit more Disgaea this week, just little bits here and there. It's sort of become my, I kind of wish it was on my phone because I'd play it more.
Yeah.
But it's sort of become that for me, just like that. All right, I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna do a little item world, get into another dungeon and maybe build some more characters. Go to the Senate, build, upgrade a couple of characters, do I'm doing stuff and I don't even know what, like, the effect is. Like, I gotta start looking some stuff up at this point, because...
Yeah, reading some wikis.
Yeah, like, I don't even know what it means to pass, like, the test and raise up your demon level, but, man, it's fun to do.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's something crazy. But, like, you go into, like, oh, God, what is it called? It's gonna drive me crazy.
The Demon Council?
The Demon Council, yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like you have all these options. It's like, okay, you can create a new character, you can delete a character, you can, and you can like take the test to upgrade your demon level. Like, I don't even know where that's listed on the character.
I think in that game you could cheat on the test too. Like you could bribe certain people that are giving you the test to pass. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's insane. So I finally caved, and this week I finally picked up Destiny: The Taken King.
Yes, one of us.
Yeah, so I got to level 40 yesterday, and I think I'm at 214 light currently.
Nice.
So I'm getting there. It's really good.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion's voice acting carries that DLC.
He really stole the show.
He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of his character. Like, his character had no depth before, and now it's like, oh, he's the coolest robot ever. Right.
How do you feel about the new Ghost voice?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a lot more upbeat. I think it's a lot. It doesn't sound sarcastic on accident sometimes.
Yeah,
which was sort of a problem with the Peter Dinklage stuff.
I love that.
I really like.
I enjoyed.
I really like Dinklage, but there's so many lines in this DLC that I really don't think he would have been able to deliver.
Yeah.
At the same quality. Like, there's one line, I won't spoil where it comes up, but there's one line that my wife and I ran into last night when we were playing, and the ghost goes, "They're trying to push us off the ledge. That's not fair." I was like, and I don't think Dinklage would have been able to deliver that with, like, this semi-outrage that Nolan North has been able to.
Yeah, there's something about it. He's kind of just like he's almost like he almost sounds like a butler. I don't know why, but I zoned in on that. Like, he kind of sounds like he's your butler, and he just doesn't understand the rest of the world.
Yeah, like an upbeat, curious butler.
Yeah.
That hangs out with you.
Sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
That'd be okay.
But the changes they've made to that game are overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
I love the new enemy types. I love the design of the Taken. They're not just reskins of the old models. Like, the models have actually changed a little bit.
I love when you kill a Taken and it like implodes upon itself and then disappears.
Yeah, that's
so cool.
The gunplay is still fantastic as always. I have a vault full of guns that I don't know what to do with.
Yeah,
because I have all these guns that I worked for or like spent time to get, and now like I can't really carry them forward. And I've got a bunch of blues and like one or two greens on still, and I'm kind of like, and this happened to me in World of Warcraft too. Yeah. I had like a bank vault full of just stuff that I would never get rid of.
Oh, all my shiny baubles. Oh,
yeah,
me too.
Like
I have like 50 guns sitting in my vault. It's like 50 out of 72, and I'm just like, but I can't get rid of Fatebringer. It's not good anymore. Like, I can't use it. Yeah, but I have it.
Like, I can't get rid of Thorn? Why would I get rid of Thorn? I worked so hard to get that gun.
Yep.
And I'm starting to understand people's like, oh yeah, I really want to bring my guns forward. But then I think, wait, no, I'm just going to get new guns in like a week or two here as I start to level up and as I start to do more and more. Get back into the grind part of Destiny where it's like, okay, I'm going to log on and I'm going to do, the Nightfall, and I'm going to do the Heroic daily, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And I'm excited to do all that stuff. I just got to get my light level up just a little bit higher to start doing it.
And the great part about Taken King 2 is, like, even if you don't want to do any of the grind stuff, I'm sure there are about a half dozen missions you have sitting in your quest log that you can go do that will lead into half a dozen other missions.
And that's the other thing I love, that like it keeps track of all this stuff that normally you would have to like pick up as a bounty or pick up from like Eris Morn or whatever.
Go to the map and be like, what do I have to do on Mars again? Like, I don't even have an icon here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much more streamlined. It's so much more interesting. The Dreadnought is really cool. I love patrolling around that. It's really, really fun.
It's really big.
It's huge, and there's a stupid amount of enemies on it too.
Well, I'd be disappointed if the Dreadnought wasn't huge.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, based on its name, it is just a monstrous area.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun. I did one strike. I did the what is it called? The Bond Brothers or
Shield Brothers?
Yeah, Shield
I like that
Brothers.
one a lot.
Yeah. That is a really intense strike just overall, but the end battle, I won't spoil it for anybody, but basically you're fighting two bosses at the same time, and it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice how they've changed some of the strikes. They've learned a lot of lessons from year one strikes, where it's not that they're really removing cover from the game, but they're designing the encounters in a way where you kind of can't hide behind a rock and poke out and shoot a couple times and then hide behind a rock again.
Yeah, because they're coming for you. You gotta move.
Yeah. That makes it way more fun.
After I did a bunch of that stuff today, I did some bounties, I did some patrol missions, but then I tried to do the paradox mission in the Vault of
Boo
Glass,
hiss.
and almost threw my controller through the wall because it was really, really difficult.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I was like, oh, okay, when I get to this point, it's gonna activate a wave of Taken. I have to beat them, and then I can move on. I beat the wave, and then I realized, oh, there's more than one wave.
And there are invisible minotaurs now.
Yes, which is the worst thing in the world, especially because there are abilities on the Taken's end where they can shoot something at you and it just blurs your vision into like almost complete darkness.
Yeah, and then they rush you.
And then they just come after you and just annihilate you. Like that happened way too many times, and that's when I ended up going, okay, I need something where I can just plow through a level. And that's why I started playing Quake.
Right.
I just needed to like run crazy through a level and like maybe pop open a couple of secret doors and shoot some 9-inch nails at some dudes.
Yeah.
Quake.
That's right.
Did you pledge to a faction in the tower yet?
I haven't yet. I don't want to.
You should do that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because every time you get Vanguard or Crucible rep, the half of that amount also goes to your faction.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do the...
you don't have to wear anything anymore.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's done way better. I would recommend Dead Orbit because the scout rifle they have is outstanding. It's easily the best weapon in this expansion.
Nice. I will have to do that then. That's my favorite
so
type of weapon besides hand cannon. So.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Gotta do some Dead Orbit stuff.
I gotta go do some stuff.
Yeah. And I also played a little bit of the Star Wars Battlefront beta.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Just a little bit, because I didn't like it.
Oh.
I think it's probably because it's very, very Battlefieldy, and that's just kind of not my bag.
Yeah.
It wasn't my bag either.
Yeah.
It wasn't my bag either, so...
Yeah, until it clicked. It didn't.
Yeah, until you're like, oh...
Oh, Battlefield.
Yeah, just everything I did felt kind of like, oh, I'm not really doing anything here. I take down a couple enemies. The game type I was playing was basically like a point defense. There are these escape pods coming down, and you had to go claim them and then defend them and prevent. I was on the Empire side, so stormtroopering up, and trying to defend these pods against the rebels was just like they're shooting me from like a mile away, and I can't hit a thing because they're moving around like maniacs.
Well, I mean, you are a stormtrooper, so
exactly.
You already have that going against you.
Yeah, I really feel like I had like a negative 25% aim, reduction going on. I played probably about a half hour of it, and I was pretty much done after that half hour. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't care.
To the dark side.
No, probably not.
No,
I'm not even
good.
going to the light side. Stick strictly gray Jedi here.
Going to the side that deletes that beta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
that was
a good decision.
Yeah.
Probably. I thought so.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I played this week.
I downloaded one of the free games this month for PS4, and I think Vita, is Super Meat Boy. And I figured, why not get back into Super Meat Boy a little bit, see how it's going?
Yeah.
I think Super Meat Boy is still a really good game. I think it is missing something because they changed the soundtrack.
That's what I've heard.
So Danny B, it seems like there was some friction between Danny B and Team Meat. And what's up, Nas?
I was just enjoying the story.
Yeah. And he would not license his soundtrack for Super Meat Boy again. Sounds like it's the same thing that happened with Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I think Binding of Isaac got hit less by it.
Okay.
But I feel like... So Super Meat Boy, playing it again, reminded me so much of early Tony Hawk stuff. Because when you die, it just... You're just playing... you're just playing again. And the music continues and everything is fine. I feel like with Super Meat Boy, and I know a lot of people will felt the same way about Binding of Isaac. I feel like the game is really missing something. I don't think it's a worse game, but it's missing part of it, the soul that made it really great, because it's missing that music. The new music is fine, but it's not that great. I feel like when you pull out a Danny B soundtrack, you have to put back something that's even stronger than it. And they brought in about 5 or 6 composers, and the stuff they put in is fine. It's just not.
It's not Meat Boy.
Yeah, like, and I feel like if you haven't played Super Meat Boy before, download it and play it. I think it's a fantastic platformer. I don't think it's the best platformer of all time, but I think it's really solid. I think the controls are good, and I think it's tough but fair, and you might like that type of game.
It's like how I feel about Tony Hawk without having Bring the Noise in the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just... Yeah, Poster Ball in chat says, well, I never played it before, so no comparison to be made for me. I think it's a perfect time to get into Super Meat Boy, though. Try it. It's free. If you don't like it, that's totally fine. That game is hard.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can say, well, at least I tried it. Now I know this genre of platformers is not for me. But I feel like I spent so much time with Super Meat Boy on the 360. And I spent so much time with that amazing soundtrack that to have those two parts divorced from each other is really weird, and it feels like a totally different game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's really weird. I did pick up Rock Band 4, though.
Oh, nice.
Thankfully, my copy came with the game, which has not been the experience for a lot of people.
Really? What?
Yeah, a lot of Xbox One Band in a Box versions have not come with the game. They have the instruments, but the game is not in the box. Man, Rock Band 4. I don't want to be reductive and say, well, it's more Rock Band, because it kind of isn't. It's Rock Band 3, but half of it has been cut out.
Okay.
There's no pro instruments, which is fine. I think there's pro drums, but don't quote me on that. There's no keyboards, which, fine, that makes sense. That was kind of a problem in Rock Band 3, looking back at it. There's no online multiplayer, which most people are not going to miss. They're saying they might put that back in there later. Yeah. They have those freestyle solos, which I think are really bad. There's a specific way to read the charting that comes at you, but most people are just going to noodle on the guitar and it's just going to sound like it's not. Turn it off. Just turn that off as soon as you get in the game. Totally not worth it. It's not even. It's not even something you should keep on. I think it hurts the game more than it helps. On Xbox One, downloading all my DLC was an undying nightmare. It took me 4 hours.
Wow.
To download all, because basically you have to go through the store in the game and have it. You go song by song. And they said, well, if you already bought some of the songs in the game, it'll show up in the menu as purchased. You just click on that, and you can download that. That doesn't work, though, when you either bought an album or you bought a bundle. It's showing that there's still $2. But if you go in there, it would say, like, oh, you already own this. Do you want to download it? So I had to go back. I had to go through the list and be like, did I buy that No Doubt song? Well, let me try it. And then it would say, no, that's $2. Okay, I didn't have that one. Did I have that Jonathan Colton song? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, let me go download that. So,
and you had to do it one at a time?
One at a time.
Gross.
And I downloaded, it looked like I downloaded 175 songs.
Wow.
And like, I get it. I bought a lot of DLC. It's a miracle that they brought the DLC over.
It is.
So, like, I only have to do it once. So it's not a huge black spot on this game. And I certainly don't expect Microsoft or Harmonix to go through and automatically download hundreds of songs to my Xbox One.
See, I kind of disagree with that.
Well, I mean,
it's
if you don't have if you don't have the storage space, I kind of don't expect
that's fine.
that
It can
to
do,
happen.
but I feel like it can do that calculation
Mm-hmm.
and do like all the pieces are there for it to be able to do that. Like there should just be a button that says if you download all the DLC, just a little button that says download all, and it'll say, hey, this is gonna take a while. Maybe you'll make a sandwich. Maybe you know,
like it'll scrape through the store and it'll figure out what you bought. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you only have to do it once, and I'm a sucker, so I bought some additional songs while I was in there because I was like, "Ooh, there's a Tears for Fears song in here." Oh.
And that is why they didn't do it.
I know.
Follow the money.
And also, like, Harmonix doesn't have a lot of people working for them anymore. No. So, like, the team that made Rock Band 4 is pretty tiny. So, I don't know. There's kind of a lot of annoyances like that. Like, going through and creating a character, there are virtually no options anymore for creating your character. There's, like, your body style is feminine or masculine. There's no, like, there's no sliders. There's no stuff. There's a couple of hairstyles. I'm sure stuff like hairstyles and clothes, you probably get more as you go through the story mode.
Yeah.
That's fine, so I'm not that upset about it. But it's kind of what Rock Band 3 was. If they kind of... It seems like they tried to trim a lot of fat.
Yeah.
But they also got a lot of meat at the same time.
It's a bummer. They just took a cleaver to it. They didn't have, like, the fine knife.
Yeah, and, like, that's fine. Because now we have a Rock Band for this next generation, and they can continue to support it and patch it and expand it and all that stuff. And you know, the next stuff that they're working on is the exports from Rock Band 1, 2, 3, and Lego Rock Band, because those aren't available to download yet.
Yeah.
And Rock Band 3 never had an export, so somebody's gonna have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, that's not an easy problem to solve.
No.
But that'll give me, you know, way more songs. The songs on the disc are not great, but of course that's objective.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play Uptown Funk. And I haven't found a way in the Rock Band menu to disable or delete songs like you used to be able to do in Rock Band 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Even the menu is lacking. You can't sort by album. You can't seem to rate individual songs like you could in Rock Band 3, which I don't know why you would get rid of that, because I really liked... in Rock Band 3, I liked sorting by my rating, where it's like, I just want to play songs I really like. You can't do some of that, so it's just... There's all this little stuff where it's kind of like, you had it in Rock Band 3, and it was good over there. How did it not make the cut for, like, the basic product over here? So, I know why. I'm involved in software development, like, I get it. But
yeah,
it's just kind of... It's kind of frustrating to get a new Rock Band experience and have it just be a fraction of what Rock Band 3 was. So I don't know. My wife and I are gonna try and play it here and try and get like the story mode going where you're making all these choices. They have some great stuff when you're playing as a party, where you pick your beginning song, and then you get a choice of 4 or 5 options after that, where it's like, look, I want to play something from the 90s, or I want to play something by Smashing Pumpkins, or I want to play this one Elvis song, or show me some more options. So instead of, you know, the thing that was always rough in early Rock Band games was, all right, I want to play a game, and then we're going to have to go back to the music library, and everybody's just going to have to settle on a song, or we'll set up a playlist, and then we have to play through these 15 songs, and I had to switch with somebody for guitar, and now they really don't want to play this game. Now you can just say, all right, we finished a song, all right, I got to go to the bathroom, here, you take the guitar, and then those 4 people can decide what they want to play next, kind of on the fly. And I think that's super cool, and I think that's a great improvement and I think it's something that they needed for the party atmosphere of Rock Band.
Oh, for sure.
But I think the single-player atmosphere portion of it needs a little bit more love.
Okay, that's
So
probably gonna stop me from considering trying to get this at the moment because like I'm not gonna be in a party atmosphere on a regular basis. So
yeah, and I have faith in Harmonix that they're going to continue to support it and they're going to continue to patch it. But as it is right now, maybe just wait a little bit. And there's on PS4 there's firmware issues with all the instruments too. So
that's what I've heard.
You have to download an app to a Windows machine that has Bluetooth to sync your instruments to it to then flash your firmware over Bluetooth. So
that's ghetto.
yeah, and it's one of those things where sort of like maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen because I should be able to do this in Rock Band 4 somehow. Yes. But I don't know. I don't have problems with my instruments, so I don't have drums, so I don't know what the big issue is.
Yeah.
I played a little bit more Destiny. I'm still doing the PvP quest. Nice. Oh my god. But I wanted to give a shout out to The Button and Bilsiford. I tossed out an invite on our 100.io group. Please check the online gaming section of the forums. And we ran the Nightfall this week. I thought that was going to be really tough. And those two guys are really good. And we banged that out in 20 minutes.
Nice.
So, yes.
What was the Nightfall this week?
Shield Brothers.
Oh, nice.
But there was extra enemies. There is something called Match Game where the only damage that gets done to shields is by the same element.
Oh.
But that's kind of a lie because kinetic weapons will still take down shields.
Okay, that's
so
good.
Not as bad.
Yeah.
Exposure, which is your shields don't regen, but you have a ton of shields at the beginning and then no radar. So that one was kind of tough.
They've really upped their game with those modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are significantly more interesting than a lot of the ones you were seeing, like the arc burn, void burn, solar burn ones.
Yeah, and now the burns are way nastier because before it was you and the enemies would do 300% damage, and now the enemies do 300% damage, but you do 200% damage.
Oh.
And how you're supposed to close that gap is by putting on gear that will mitigate that damage from the enemies, like void burn damage, arc burn damage. So
it sounds awfully like going into like Molten Core in World of Warcraft and having all your fire resist gear.
And I don't have a lot of that gear right now, and this is the first Nightfall I've run since the new expansion, so I don't really know how much it might not be an issue. It might be the standard Destiny thing where it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But it sounds interesting, but I'll have to see. I did start The Witcher 3 back up.
Really?
Because I figured, all right, we're in October. I've cleared out some of these other games. I really just need to sit down and play The Witcher 3. I got back through the intro again. It's like my 5th time through the intro. And they dumped me back in that beginning village. And I forgot it's an open world game. So as soon as they gave me the map and there's all sorts of icons on it, I went, open world. So I was like, okay, all right, lock it down, ignore all that stuff, put a marker on the map, and we're just gonna go where the game tells me. And I went over this bridge, and there was an icon on the map that says, hey, in this area there's cool loot. And I was like, oh no. And then I got the loot, and I'm already my own worst enemy. So it's kind of, I know The Witcher 3 is really great.
Yeah.
I just got out of playing like 3 open world games in a row. I really want to play The Witcher 3 and I really want to love it. But it's another open world game. And I know that's selling it short. Because I know it's like one of the best games this year. But it's another open world game, and I don't know if I can do that to myself. I need to stick with it, because it's the beginning of any huge RPG where there's every time you talk to a new person, there's tutorials. Every time you turn around, there's 3 more quests on a quest board, and there's a giant world, and now I'm gonna go fight a griffin. I know once I settle into it, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
But just the beginning of any big RPG like that, where it's just, And now this guy can craft stuff for you. Oh, you don't have any crafting stuff. And you need to level him up. And I'm just like, why?
Yes. Why do you have to level up the crafter? Isn't he a master at that point?
No.
Nope.
He's an apprentice.
He's not
Some
even
of my
an
stuff
artisan.
needs a journeyman. I don't
He's
know
not
if
even
that's...
an artisan yet.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay. So, I just need to get through it. I just need to get through the beginning of it. And all the text in that game is super tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I even turned the text to large. And it's still really tiny. Oh my god. So, but I gotta say, they came out with patch 1.1, and it was an 18 gig patch.
Ooh.
And boy, that smoothed out a lot of the frame rate issues on PS4. So,
Nice.
kudos to them. That game still looks really good, and I can turn off blur and motion blur now, which makes me way happier.
Yeah.
And it seems like the frame rate is a lot smoother now. So, good on you, CD Projekt Red.
Mm-hmm.
But don't make your game so big next time.
Oh, Cyberpunk's gonna be bigger.
I read that too, and now I don't know if I want it.
I totally want it now. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get that, and it's the only game I'm gonna need for like 5 years.
Just push it off by like 3 years. Just
There you go.
the open world games of 2015 need to go away for a little bit.
If Cyberpunk is out by 2017, I will be shocked.
That's true. Yeah. And the last game I played this week, because I needed a break and I needed to play something different, I played Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2.
Oh, nice. How'd you like it?
I can't remember the last time that I laughed out loud at a game.
Really?
Like, I genuinely laughed out loud at some stupid stuff in a video game.
Nice.
I did that a lot in Episode 2. I really liked Episode 1, and I really liked where that episode ended. And so the whole conceit with Tales from Borderlands is the two main characters are getting dragged away by a third character, and it's after the game has ended.
After Borderlands 2?
After Tales from the Borderlands has ended.
Oh.
And they're telling the story of Tales from the Borderlands, but they're swapping off when they can tell that the other is embellishing. So it's really interesting to go through this scene, and the one character will say, like, really? That happened? That you're not that cool. That didn't happen. So they rewind by a couple seconds, and they show how it actually happened.
Nice.
And this interplay between these two characters that hate each other in the future, telling the story and trying to one-up each other, but trying to keep each other in check, is really, really great. And it leads to a lot of scenes where one character's making fun of the other. So in the storyline, characters are acting really weird, and you're like, what is happening right now? It'll cut to these characters telling the story, making fun of the other character.
Oh.
And it's so good, and it's such a creative way to tell this story, and it keeps it so interesting because it is a pretty tall tale they're telling.
Yeah.
But because they keep each other in check, it doesn't become this crazy fantastic story, and when something fantastic does happen, the other character will be like, that there's no way that happened, and the other character will be like, actually, that is how that happened, and it was pretty crazy. So it's just it's I really want to dislike this game because it's been Telltale, and between episode 3 and 4 2 and 3 they took months to come out with an episode. And I've been talking up Life is Strange for the last couple months, how every 6 or 7 weeks they're coming out with a new episode, and it's good.
Yep.
And man, Tales from Borderlands is good. And after we do this, I'm going to go play episode 3.
Nice.
And unfortunately, episode 5 of this and episode 5 of Life is Strange come out on the same day. I'll be playing Life is Strange episode 5 first,
Clearly.
of course.
Yeah. I gotta play that.
Because
Gotta play that this week.
I have to know how that ends.
Yeah.
But I'm genuinely surprised that Telltale is coming out with a Borderlands adventure game that is telling a good story, is telling a good Borderlands story, and is genuinely making me make some hard decisions on what I'm going to do throughout the game.
Nice.
And, man, that's good.
Yeah.
And I kind of love them and I kind of hate them for it. Because
nice.
to me, this is and I haven't finished it, so grain of salt here. To me, it's the first thing that I've played from Telltale since Walking Dead Season 1 that I want to keep playing.
All right.
Instead of like getting through a little bit and be like, oh god, this is the worst. Oh. And what's crazy is this is a pretty good year for point-and-click adventure games. Free this month is Broken Age on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
So you can go play that thing. We've had Steins Gate coming out this year. That's a great visual novel. So it's been a pretty good year for weird games. So
yeah.
I heard Tales from Borderlands Episode 4 is really good. So I'm waiting to get there. But man, check out Tales from Borderlands and Life is Strange. They're both pretty similar type of games, but they're both really good. Oh, nice. Man. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break.
Oh, sounds good. Oh, God.
Oh, that drink is hot. Okay.
Stretch. Alright, I'm just going to nap here real quick.
An itchy ear for about the last 45 minutes.
Oh, that's the worst. Knob seems like he's still having a fun Sunday.
Yeah. Anybody in chat that hasn't joined our 100.io E1M1 network group, follow that link in chat.
Yep.
Join it on up. It's private, so you can't just search for it.
Yeah.
Hey,
but yeah,
hey
come
Rob.
join. It's a good time.
Do you have Carlos's phone number?
No.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm hoping as part of this .io group, we can go through and do some of the older raids too.
Yeah.
For some people that haven't done them.
That'd be fun. I'd love to see Volta Glass.
Because they should be super easy at this point.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of fun to go through, and now that there's very little risk, is to go through and do some of that stuff. And hopefully we can get a raiding party together at some point to do King's Fall.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, they're at 71. They shouldn't be hard to find.
I love hearing one half of a phone conversation.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. All right, bye.
I know this breeze is coming over this mic, but I don't really care. It feels really good. I'm sorry to everybody listening if you're hearing that breeze, but I don't feel that badly. Hi, Knobs.
And the hits just keep on coming.
It seems like it.
Are you free from calls for a little bit, hopefully?
All signs point to no. Awesome. But let's pound this out real fast.
Yeah, let's go through this. If you have to get up at some point, I'll just pick up releases. If you have to head out.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week of October 12th, 2015. Dungeon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe, and The Blight Below.
That's legitimately that entire title.
That's
for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they took Dynasty Warriors and they smushed Dragon Quest on top of it.
Oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's getting pretty good reviews, so I'm almost thinking that this might. What I want to investigate is this game a good introduction into like the Dynasty Warriors setup? And if so, I might try that because I like Dragon Quest. So
maybe.
Who knows?
All right. The Talos Principle Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 4.
I gotta get it.
Yep.
I've been looking forward to playing that game for a while now, and it being on the PS4 is exactly what I need.
All right. The Legend of Legacy for the Thirds.
I've been hearing good stuff about that. That's an Atlas RPG that looks it looks very similar to
Lost it?
Just gone.
All right.
Another game.
That is the most bland title I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, it's the Legend of Legacy.
The RPG of RPGs?
Yes.
Yeah.
How was this?
The
How has
Call
that
of
not
Duties?
been a name before? Like
Yeah.
that sounds like an Atari title.
It sounds like a mobile game that is trying to be a Final Fantasy ripoff.
There it
Like
is.
the Lord of War quest.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, if they did a Lord of War game on mobile based off the movie Lord of War,
I'd
Nick
play
Cage, I would play that. I
Yeah.
would play the crap out of that.
Fighting of Gods.
Yes.
Colon burst climax.
Minecraft Story Mode Episode 1 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
We were talking about, I think that might also be coming out for 360 and PS3, but that might only be physical. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about a good Telltale adventure game. This is Telltale's next game, is they are making a Telltale-style Minecraft game.
I'm interested to see what this ends up being.
Yeah, I don't know too much about... Like, I know what Minecraft is. I'm not that old. But I don't know much about, like, the meta surrounding Minecraft. If they could tell an interesting Minecraft story without it being, like, wink and nod about Minecraft stuff, I would give that a shot.
Yeah. What is the meta around Minecraft nowadays?
Dude, I don't know.
Are sheep overpowered? Do they need to
Yeah,
move
exactly.
sheep?
Are the creepers really, really bad?
Yeah.
Are they really creepers?
Wall hacks? I don't know.
Wasteland 2 Director's Cut for the PlayStation 4.
There's another game I have to pick up.
My God.
Come on, 2015. Stop putting out good games. I'm poor.
Yeah.
My dog just had to go get surgery.
Oh.
Killing me here.
Poor dog.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Oof.
And Final Fantasy 7 for the PlayStation 4.
Wait is over. The seventh Final Fantasy game, guys.
It's here.
You loved 6. Now it's 7.
Great. Tell me it opens up to Kiss. You wanted the best? You got the best.
That'd be a way better game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the idea of an HD remake of Final Fantasy 7, shut up and buy this one. It's
Yep.
probably going to be like $25 because it's Square Enix.
Yep.
Yeah, the Square tax.
I might go through and live stream this and do like a critical breakdown of Final Fantasy 7 because I haven't played it in so long and I remember having so many problems with it before that I'd be curious to go through it now that I've been so far removed from it and look at it with a more critical eye and see how it holds up.
I'd like to see that. You should do that.
I should do that. I have a capture card right here. I'm going to do that.
All right.
Yeah. If this capture card wasn't really rough, it'd be a lot easier to do. All right, moving on to news stories. We got a lot of complimentary news stories this week.
Oh, yeah?
First up, Microsoft is saying we want to regain trust more than we want to beat Sony. I think if you want to be pessimistic about it, you could probably say like, well, yeah, because they're losing, right, guys? I think this is really interesting. I think this is a new, more honest Microsoft. Then coming out and saying like, look, we've made a lot of mistakes. Ever since we debuted the Xbox One at E3, we've had nothing but mistakes this entire time. It's been DRM or family plans or used games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying. We're trying to get your trust back and we're trying to do the right thing. And we're not beating the PS4. And for right now, that's okay. And I think that's really interesting because I think a lot of people online keep seeing... Nobody learned from Gen 7.
No.
Where Xbox 360 soundly won Gen 7 for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing really poorly this gen. And I think people forget that Microsoft is in it for the long run. For the really long run. If they weren't, the 360 would have never come out.
Yep.
Because the original Xbox failed. Failed the hardest. Beside the Virtual Boy, nothing has failed harder
and
as quickly.
Loved that system. The original Xbox is a great system.
It really is. They slapped PC parts in a case, and they came out and said, hey, let's make good games. There were a lot of good games on the original Xbox.
They had Morrowind.
Yeah.
They got a console version.
They had Halo 1 and 2. Like, there were so many huge blockbuster games on that console.
Oh, yeah.
Just nobody cared.
Yeah.
And I feel like the messaging surrounding the Xbox One from right out the gate has just been so wrong that they have so much cleanup to do that I think they're taking the right attitude and saying, like, look, we have a lot of work to do to make you guys happy.
Yeah.
We don't really care about beating Sony right now. We have larger brand issues to deal with. So we'll deal with that for right now, but we'll get to the other stuff later. I think that's interesting.
I think it's a good position for them to take right now. I think that's more advantageous for them than gunning after Sony, because, I mean, they're not going to catch up right away.
Yeah. It's
going to be a slower process, so if you're going to try and do it, you may as well try and do it the right way.
Yeah, play the long game. Like, they're coming out with this, whatever they're calling the NXE for Xbox One. They're coming out with basically Windows 10 for the Xbox One here pretty soon. So they're coming out with these monthly firmware updates, and they're getting all the voting from the community. You know, they're doing all the right stuff to continue to lay a solid groundwork. And that's what they really need to do, and keep getting exclusives and keep showing up to E3 and putting out great consoles. And they're doing it. They just Sony came out way stronger.
Well, yeah, good. Sony came out every bit as strong as the 360 did.
Yep. I mean, you look at the 360 when they came out, and you're like, boy, this thing has an OS. Yeah. This thing has great games. Gears of War came out, and you're like, I gotta have that game. Holy crap. And it's the same thing that Sony did when they came out. They came out guns blazing with the PS4 at the beginning, where they're like, it's way cheaper. You do all your stuff. We don't care about used games. Give your games to your friends, whatever. Yeah. They're coming out really strong, and they had their messaging clear and direct from day one, and that seems to have won the battle for the moment.
Which is surprising from Sony, but...
Yeah. I mean, they learned from the PS3. I mean, the PS3 had the same problem that the Xbox One is having.
Yeah.
That $499 price of the PS3, and everyone was like, well, no. Just a snap decision where it's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to do anything there. That's fine. But next news story, on the other side of the spectrum, PS4 now has a price drop to $350. So getting that out of the way before the holiday season. I'm sure there'll be some cool bundles coming out for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good choice. They probably didn't need to.
No.
But that was, I think it's going to be interesting this holiday when you look at the Xbox One Elite bundle, that I think is a little bit more than the base price. And then you look at the PS4 bundle that is $50 cheaper. I think for John Q Street Fighter fan, that might be an interesting decision to make. So
yeah,
we'll see how the holiday goes. Konami, our favorite. Let's talk about Konami and MGS5.
Favorite? Do we have to?
Yeah, yeah, because we have two microtransaction stories this week, both for games we love.
Yeah.
First one is the bad one for MGS5. So if anybody hasn't played MGS5, there's something called these FOBs, forward operating bases, in the game. There are these things that kind of live on the internet, and you send your troops out. It's like the Assassin's Creed sending your people out to go do missions.
Yeah.
You go do that, but if you start building FOBs, people online can attack your mother base and steal resources, steal soldiers and stuff like that, and you don't get those back.
Yeah.
Which I think sucks.
That sounds terrible.
Well, Hannah, I have the deal for you.
Oh, yeah?
You can buy base insurance.
What?
For the low price of some sort of real-world money, because that's not a scam.
Wait.
Base insurance. It's literally protection money.
Can I check that with my price check gun? Can I call Flo?
Yeah, Flo is coming in and saying, Boy, it would really be a shame if something happened to your mother base, wouldn't it?
Oh man.
So
this is
if
awful.
you buy base insurance, if people steal your resources and your staff, you get them right back. Base insurance.
Is it one-time use though? Can you only file one claim?
I don't want to know.
Do you have to file a claim?
That would be terrible. I don't believe you have to.
God, that's the kind of terrible I can get behind though, because if they're gonna go all the way, they may as well lean into it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, hold on. I just pulled up the article with
what
this.
was the date of the incident?
Yeah. Was there a dog in the car?
Yes.
Oh no, I hope it wasn't.
Yeah.
Hold on. The following are not covered by FOB insurance. Staff or items that are not fully your property, such as abducted staff being held in your brig, wounded staff, staff lost due to death or extraction will be compensated, staff used by you to deploy in defense of the FOB, and nuclear weapons.
Awesome.
Here's the nuclear cause. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Konami.
What are you doing?
I
I
mean,
hope that's a joke.
It's
it's
not.
really not, because MGS5, if you decide to go in the FOB stuff, is, I don't want to use the word riddled with microtransactions because you don't have to do it, but
Plagued by?
you get to build your first FOB for like 10 MB coins. I don't even, mother base coins, who knows, who cares? You get to build it for like 10 MB coins. You're like, great, that sounds cool. You want to guess how much the next one costs? 2,000.
Oh.
You get 10 at a time by playing the game. And they go, you can buy more, and of course it takes you to PlayStation Store. 2,000 coins is like $20.
Mm-hmm.
What?
My favorite. Hold on. In chat here, we have an excellent. Bad-haired Viking says, "When was the last time your base was assessed? I don't believe your base was worth as much as you're trying to claim it was."
Yeah, when's the last time you got your base appraised?
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the bases in the area are not doing great. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
your
we got
base's
some comps
kitchen.
here.
Yeah, if you had an open floor plan on your base, it would probably be a little bit better, but...
Yeah, maybe do some granite countertops.
Yeah.
Get the wallpaper off these walls. Do some paint.
Can I keep the
instead.
dog? He's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just... To me, that's just Konami. Where it's
That
just,
is Konami all
they
over.
have the bat in hand saying, it would really be a shame.
Oh, that's beautiful.
On the other end of the spectrum, Bungie has announced that Tess Everest is coming back to the tower with the boy, what is it called? The Everent Trading Company, something like that, where you can pay real money for emotes, and only emotes. So
Eververse Trading Company.
Eververse Trading Company. There we go. So you can pay a couple of bucks for a dance emote.
I like that.
That's
Why?
Kinda cool. Because
know
it
what?
doesn't affect the game, and they're not sitting there like they're the Yakuza ready to break your kneecaps.
exactly.
It's the fool tax. Why would you buy that?
So here's the
You
great
don't
part
have
about
to.
it. Yeah,
I know.
you don't have to.
The fact that it's there, that they're charging money for it, it's just... If it was community generated, maybe. And those go to specific people, but it's just feeding the beast, man.
So then don't feed the beast.
Exactly.
And I think the interesting thing that they're coming out and saying is that they're opening it as an opportunity for people to... It seems like they're trying to figure out how they can get Destiny to the point where they put out a Taken King-sized expansion once a year, and then they put out free content in between. And it seems like they're going to put cosmetic stuff in this Eververse Trading Company where buying that stuff will fund more of that free stuff. It doesn't sound like they're being Konami, where it's like, hey man, you want more multiplayer maps? Maybe you want to buy a dance or two. How's that sound? I'm curious to see if they will keep their word with that.
I think they're trying to crowdfund something without asking for money.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're giving you something for it, though. It's not like they're sitting there going, "Oh yeah, just donate." And it's like, no, here, buy a couple. Did a couple animations. Let's sell these out. My understanding of this is they're trying to sort of make up for the revenue they're not earning by like charging a monthly fee.
Yeah.
This is still effectively an MMO style game. This is effectively like an MMO style release plan with the big content updates, expansions, and little bits in between. But they don't have that consistent revenue stream that an MMO has. So funding that team that is making that content's a lot more difficult.
Binder Viking in chat says, I don't mind microtransactions that don't make the game pay to win. The worst thing they can do is say, well, for about $5, you can have Galahorn, or like whatever the year 2 version of some exotic gun is. Like,
that I don't want.
You can skip this whole quest line if you spend like $3. Or like, the thing that they did with Red Bull, where you get increased XP for half an hour if you redeem your Red Bull code. If they, you can look at World of Warcraft and you can pay real world money to get an XP boost.
Yeah.
It's thankfully that doesn't really matter with Destiny once you hit level 40, but I sincerely hope that they don't look at that trading company and slide down that slippery slope. Because once you start making it, to me it's like ads on websites from about 5 years ago, where it's like, okay, I'm making some pretty good money from these Google ads. If I put 4 more on the page, I could make way more money. Now half my site's ads.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope that's not the slippery slope that they're going down, because I think that would very quickly poison a game like that I feel is stronger for not having player trading.
Yes.
And I feel like if you get into a pay-to-win thing, then I think that really sullies that game pretty quickly. So, and last news story, Ubisoft announced a new Far Cry game, Far Cry Primal, coming to Xbox One and PS4 February 23rd, PC in March. This is really weird. This is what, it's not, I'm
prehistoric?
Thank you. That's exactly the word I was thinking of. I was almost gonna say really old school.
Really old school. It's the BC of video games.
Like the 80s. Really old school. They're coming out with a prehistoric Far Cry. That is interesting.
Yeah.
The more I've been thinking, my knee-jerk reaction is like, that's not what I want from Far Cry. Like, I wanna ride a Jeep and then drive that off a cliff and bring on my hang glider and hang glide and then stab a dude when I fall off of it.
I mean,
but
isn't that Just Cause?
Yeah, I mean, I can get 2 of those per year. Why not? But the more I think about it, the more that I think that could be kind of cool, hunting down a woolly mammoth. With like a saber-tooth tiger buddy.
I don't know. I mean, everything then can eat you. Like, what are you gonna
it's
do?
Like Australia. Everything's gonna kill you.
Yes.
Far Cry Australia.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think
a jack jumper infestation.
I think it's kind of interesting because it's not hey, we're gonna try World War I. We're not gonna put Far Cry in the future. We're gonna make like a Paleozoic Far Cry. I think that could be kind of neat. We don't really, after Turok, we haven't really seen a lot of prehistoric games.
Dino Crisis?
That wasn't prehistoric, though. That was modern day.
It's still dinosaurs.
Yeah. Here we go. Lego Jurassic Park.
Oh, great.
2 of these games back to back, copycats.
Yeah. There's your Lego clone.
Yeah, Legos did it. Yeah, I'm curious about that. That's at least
I'm more
something
concerned
new.
about the arsenal. Like, I mean, you're gonna get a bow and arrow and a stick
and a sniper rifle.
Your grenades are a handful of rocks.
Yeah, I do share that concern too, because it's sort of the thing that I like about Far Cry is you spend a lot of time like, okay, I'm going to spend a lot of time doing all this stuff, and then I get like a one-shot kill sniper rifle, and I am good for the rest of the game. I'm wondering if part of what they're focusing on with this is more of the hand-to-hand stuff, more of the sneaking stuff that you don't always have to do in Far Cry, but that's not what Far Cry does well.
No, it does sniping well.
Yeah, and it does. I'm going to drive a tank in here into this area, blow everything up, and then use an assault rifle to kill a couple people. So I'm curious to see what they do, because I feel like if it goes really well, it could be a pretty interesting take on Far Cry. Mm-hmm. If it goes really poorly, I don't know, man. And who's the bad guy going to be? Like, Pagan Min was so good in Far Cry 4.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you what, probably Scar.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
I don't know. This is going to be the Black Panther going to chase you down. There's going to be a squirrely snake messing with you.
God, it's going to be like Red Dead Redemption again.
It's going to be Jungle Book with a bow and arrow.
That'd be okay.
I'd be okay with that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to emails. John Connor 333 writes in, "Hey guys, first off I want to say I love your podcast and loving the Wednesday night game nights. Thank you for both."
Yes, they're great.
I'm currently searching for a PS4 headset and was wondering if there was one that someone could recommend. I've been enjoying the Sony Gold wireless headset for almost a year when it sadly fell apart in my hands this evening as I was getting ready to try Metal Gear Online.
No.
Yeah, which I can imagine him picking up and then cradling these headset as it perished.
Should I avoid that headset then?
You should.
Really? Is it that bad?
The hinges apparently are bad.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. I don't even know how to go wireless with that system then.
He says, "This is terribly disappointing since I took very good care of them. I would like to give others a fair warning if they have purchased the headset."
I'm glad I didn't spend the money on that then.
Yes. So what are others using for headsets, if anything at all? Doesn't have to be wireless or 7.1, but asking for something that has good sound, will last a few years, and possibly be able to hear myself when I talk so that I don't yell. Yet, since I don't want to spend over $250, my choices appear limited. Anyways, looking for some feedback before I go into depth. Thanks. I can recommend the Astro A50s. Don't be shocked by the sticker price. It's $300.
Huh.
Go to eBay. They're $150 on there for like a brand new one. They are they seem to be the gold standard. They are wireless, but they also have a cable. They have a mixer, so you can plug a whole bunch of stuff in there. If you want to plug an iPod into there to listen to music while you're listening to other stuff, you can do that too. You can balance your chat. They integrate straight into the PS4's dashboard. You can use it as basically like another sound card in the PS4. They seem to be pretty cool. $300 is a lot of money though for them. Hit up eBay.
Yeah.
$150, $180. That seems to be pretty good. If I was to go buy a wireless headset, that would be what I'd go buy.
I use a little dicky pair of $10 headphones that I got off of some random website. Because they were $10, because I don't believe in spending that much money on headphones.
For me, I use the $10 Amazon earbuds I bought because they're really good.
Yeah.
But you can't mute the mic, so I used just the stupid PS4 built-in ones for Destiny.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we still love you.
Do they do Bluetooth headsets?
Yeah, that's what it's based off of, but they don't allow it's a very specific few that PS4 allows you to use. Like I have a pair of Bluetooth headphones that flat out don't work with it.
Well, if it allows a specific style of headphones, is the one the LG one that hangs around your neck. Those are by far the best hands-free headset I have ever had.
Huh.
They work, even though you're like, what's that hanging on your neck? It's my headset.
Yeah.
You don't have to scream into it. You talk in your normal voice. The sound is fantastic.
It's your neck set.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's your neck set.
Nice.
Next email is from Ghost Underground. Hey guys, I haven't written in quite a while, but I have a question. Recently, you've been talking about Assassin's Creed 4 and how long it took to get through it. That made me think that some games have too much stuff to do. How do you feel about it? Are some games too long? Do you prefer to just have a linear story to plow through, or do you like all the side quests and collectibles? As always, keep up the great work.
It depends on the world.
I want both. Like, I want a good balance of, like, That's what I was talking about with Witcher 3 earlier. Like, I know The Witcher 3 is a great game, and everybody says it's amazing. But I've just gotten done playing Far Cry 4 and MGS5, and I tried to play Assassin's Creed Unity again, and that's not happening. And, like, Shadows of Mordor earlier this year, and Grand Theft Auto. Like, I have this laundry list of games just in 2015 that are all open-world, collectible-based, icons everywhere on the map game. And I'm tired.
Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff when you're with all the superfluous points that are in AC4, it doesn't get you anything.
Yeah. You get a bunch of money.
Yeah.
200 ducats. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it depends on your real life situation. Personally, right now, I'm not about a big, long, open world game. That's why I haven't been playing a whole lot of Metal Gear as much as I like the series. I'm just kind of open world for a little while right now, and I don't really have the time to sit down and do a bunch of open world stuff. But when I've got some time off from work, or when I've just got a good chunk of a day to burn, I'll open one up. But it's not something I'm going to go to for like, okay, I've got an hour or two to play a game. I don't want to jump into an open world because I have to spend at least 5 minutes making a decision.
Right,
and that's not what I want to be doing.
To get your bearings on what you want to do.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what quest do I have? Oh, right, I have to go... Oh, that's all the way over there. Like, that's why when I was playing The Witcher 3, I was thinking very fondly of Super Mario World, and just thinking, like, I want to play a game where I press start, and I am playing some levels. And they get harder as I go, and I don't have to worry about taking a side quest to go dive underwater to lock-pick a chest to get some friggin' coins.
Yeah, that I don't really need anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to get down there for the medicines. Like,
I need to go play Super Mario World once we're done. Man. We have one tweet this week from Adderblack39. Hi guys.
Hey.
Knobs, seems like you've lost your gaming mojo a bit lately. Has 2015 been a disappointing year for you so far?
I think we covered that.
Disappointing? No, it's not. I don't think it's been disappointing. It's just been soul crushing. I think
when you've picked games that have not turned out well, they've turned out really, really badly. It's not just like middle of the road. Like, that game was fine. It's just the DBZ and the Tony Hawk 5.
It's like back to back,
right?
Like, or AC4. Like, that was pretty okay.
You had your highs, like you really enjoyed Shadows of Mordor.
Yes,
and that game was great. But then, like, you've had either really good games or really bad games this year. There's nothing in the middle for you.
It's been a polarizing year.
Yeah,
well, it's that, and I think it's a lack of releases.
Yeah,
like on the Xbox side. Like, you look at this week alone. There was one game coming out for the Xbox One, and it was a Minecraft Telltale game.
Right.
Like,
not really your wheelhouse.
No, it's not been. But the games I have been having fun with, like Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, and and what's the story game we're playing?
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Yep, a surprising 2015 gem.
Right,
like, it's stuff like that. Like, I'm having a blast with, but the games that I should expect to be having a riot with have just been getting punched in the throat.
Yeah, they've just been miserable experiences.
Like, man, Dragon Ball Z was just awful.
Or it's just another open world game, like
or something like right now. Like, you could see if you watch the live stream. I probably fielded 7 phone calls during this episode.
Yeah.
Alone. And
people keep asking us, and please don't stop, but people keep asking us if we've played Mad Max yet. That's another open world game that is getting okay reviews. I can't do it. Just the thought of it is just, I just feel bummed.
Like
I feel so cold and alone.
I need a game like Asura's Wrath, just something I can just totally jump into, and I just replay the crap out of it.
Yeah, I didn't talk about this when I was talking about what you've been playing because I didn't play it, but I sat my wife down. She's been obsessed with The Walking Dead for like the last 6 months because she just got into it. We watched the whole series I think twice now, and we watched Fear the Walking Dead all the way through. And so I was like, when I went out and got The Taken King, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna pick up because we got the PS3 downstairs, and I don't have it for anything but PC. I was like, I'm gonna pick up Walking Dead season 1. I'm gonna have her play because I think she's really gonna get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And we started playing it, and it was so entertaining to see her like go through and like make really almost scarily similar decisions to what I did. But then like I had that moment of like, oh yeah, no man, I really remember this game, and I remember really loving it. It was like my game of the year last year, right? No, it came out in like 2012.
Yeah, it's a couple years old.
Flies.
Yeah.
And like the open world problem is that like it is nothing but a time suck a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of frustrated is like we're all exhausted with Battlefield. I mean, we're not saying that we're not having fun, but we're not having the fun that we had like 3 or 4 months ago.
It's the same thing that happened with us in Left 4 Dead 2, where it's like there's only so many maps, there's only so many permutations.
Well, but at that point, that game became so meta in how we were tackling it, and like we were literally going to one-shot people. That's where it got to the point where if we didn't do exactly what we wanted to, it would just ruin the mood.
Yep.
And
you're restarting the warehouse level.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's
full circle, like, boom.
Yeah, and I'm looking for that game to really just jump in and have a blast with. Like a couple years ago with Syndicate. That game had no reason being that amazing.
It just came out of left field, and you're like, wow, this is
in non-competitive multiplayer, I'm in. Like this is awesome.
Can I just put this out there? Somebody suggest that for Game Club, please. Somebody throw that on the suggestion list.
I haven't even played it. I
want to play that game again.
I do too. I mean, that single player was outstanding.
It was really good. I remember really loving it. And you had
and that game failed because it was overshadowed by Deus Ex.
Yeah. And you had great voice acting. You had Brian Cox was in it. Who was the dude who played Top Dollar in The Crow? Oh God, what is his name?
Oh, that guy with the gravelly voice.
Yeah.
The guy that gets in an argument with Alan Rickman in Robin Hood with a spoon.
Yeah.
Like, that dude. The spoon, dude.
It's such a great scene.
Why a spoon?
It's dull. It'll hurt more.
I love Alex.
Good stuff.
He needs to do more stuff.
He does.
I have just suggested Syndicate for Game Club.
Yeah.
So I've never played it. It's just I've completely missed it. Always meant to play it, and that would be a great excuse to get. It's one of those games that the reason why I started Game Club was to highlight these games that you just miss because they're okay games. We'll probably pick Mad Max in a couple of years because it's one of those games like that came out at the wrong time, got 7s out of 10 across the board. Got a couple of patches afterwards to fix some stuff.
Yeah.
But people just missed it. People miss Syndicate because of Deus Ex. People are probably going to miss Mad Max because of The Witcher 3. There's always these games that just came in second place.
Yeah.
And the Syndicate is a perfect example of a game that did some stuff well, did some stuff not so great, but was a good game that just got overlooked.
Yeah, I would feel the same way about Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yep.
That game was outstanding.
Got great reviews, but people just didn't seem to pick it up. I should play that.
I don't think it's one of those things that's frustrating because that game is so solid the whole way through, and it builds momentum the entire. Once you get by that very first intro level where the controls are really clunky and you're just trying to figure it out. And then once you hit your stride, that game is awesome.
Yeah.
And the Old Blood did it just as good.
Nice.
Yeah, so 2015 has been okay. I think we're kind of ready to move on.
Well, I'm just looking for that game that I can just gush about, and I haven't had much to gush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I really want to go back and play Asura's Wrath because I love that game. Like, I'm thinking about it right now. Like, that game was just so amazing.
I was thinking about hooking up my 360 to my streaming setup and going through and playing that. I've never played it, and I have all the DLC because I was gonna play it at some point.
Oh, dude, that DLC was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it just, I keep going. Like, that game to me is just a masterpiece. It's just, that game is fun to watch. It is even better to play. And
no one played it.
No
one played that game. It's like Alpha Protocol. No one played that game. Alpha Protocol is finally getting its due, but poor Asura's Wrath just got missed.
Yeah, and it's just like what 90% of the games that we bought on PS2 were games that hardly anyone played.
Like Katamari.
Yes.
I can't believe it. I still cannot believe more than 0 of those games came to the US.
No, I mean, look, like, all right, Katamari Damacy, Rygar, Shadow of Colossus, did I say Gungrave already?
No, but that's a good one.
Gungrave is unreal. God Hand, a game everyone panned, was one of the most fun games I played on that system.
We talked about God Hand a little on the Vanquish stream because Vanquish came directly out of God Hand.
That's true, yeah.
It was sort of the direct product of that game's failings.
Yeah.
Man, Vanquish is such a great game that is so grossly misunderstood and was just skipped by everybody.
Yeah.
Man. All right, well, before we keep worrying about 2015.
Well, yeah, before we turn into Bummercast.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. Everything else is on the right-hand side of the page. And don't forget to go to the online forum to go find the tvgp100.io Destiny group. Come join. Let's play stuff together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And once you're there, why don't you sign up for the forums? And don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our game nights. That is Monday night, BF4 on the Xbox One, 10 p.m. EST. Tuesday's Destiny night. Wednesday's Rocket League on the PS4, both those nights. Thursday night, Steam game night. We really need to get some UT going again because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can get the new UT going. It's free alpha.
We couldn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Free to download.
We could be on the knife edge for that.
That's true. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm gonna make my machine is gonna go nuclear in my living room here, in the studio.
Oh yeah. And Fridays is just whatever, right?
Yep, Friday's potpourri.
Come find one of us.
Yeah, current TVGP Game Club game is Metal Gear Solid 1, so we're going way back to 1998.
Real old school.
Playing for the first MGS, you can pick that up on PSN for like $10. You can play it on PS3, you can play it on your Vita. I think you can even play it on your PSP if you got one of those sitting around.
Yeah.
Plus, if you got a local game store, you can find it cheap on eBay. That game sold way too many copies.
If you have a Dreamcast, there was a Bleem version of MGS1 that was released.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that might actually be a really interesting way to play that game.
There was a PC version of it, but it's really rare. I think it ran on Windows 95 only.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
Hey, spin up a virtual machine, make it happen.
There you go. Get creative.
Yeah, we are still taking suggestions for the suggestion thread. I would love to get some new games up in the hopper for this because we got a lot of games, and there were a couple of games that I think we were a little worried about having to play in a month.
Yeah.
So let's get some suggestions in there. Let's get some weird stuff. Like we recently had the Saboteur.
That's a great suggestion, by the way.
Which sounds amazing.
Another supposedly great game that people just missed.
Yeah, Fifth Horseman recently suggested FTL, which I think is amazing because it's something you can just pick up and play. It's not a game that you have to beat. I love the idea of that.
Chronicle your failings.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jive495 suggested 3D Dot Game Heroes, which is one of those games that
That's a great example.
I missed that one too.
Yeah. That's a great game.
These are the types weird games that like people forgot about or just didn't play. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
so go to the suggestions thread on the forum and put them up there.
Yeah, those are all totally in the spirit of Game Club. Oh man! All right, and don't forget you can watch this show live twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you all very much for listening or watching or writing in or yelling at your screen because we're wrong. Who knows?
Enjoy the story time before the show.
That's true. Heaven help us. Thank you very much for all of that, and we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
I have one title.
Yeah.
Not disappointing, just soul crushing.
Yeah, I had to write that down. That was pretty great. Good call. That's was a
number one with a bullet for now.
Yeah, that was a tag team between Roscoe P. Soul Train and Binary Viking in chat.
By the way, Roscoe P. Soul Train, your name is amazing.
Yeah, really that's a good name.
I just got to write.
Solid name.
That's you made my day.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch this week actually. Okay. A couple from the beginning. I had to write down Full Blown Madness and Dr. Blowout. We can't use them.
Not included, but Dr. Blowout is really good.
Yeah. At Your Peril. Bad Game Optimism. This whole year has been awful. He rights a lot of wrongs. The Mortal Kombat failings. This one is Open World. Recreating Lil Weezy. Undying Nightmare. I'm already my own worst enemy. You're Not That Cool. Fighting of Gods Burst Climax.
That's pretty good.
I'm Not That Old. It's literally protection money. Prehistoric. Saber-Tooth Tiger Buddy. And not disappointing, just soul crushing.
I really love that last one.
It's really good. Yeah, if it weren't for that, my personal favorite would have been Fighting of Gods Burst Climax.
That just sounds like a fake Japanese iPhone
game. That sounds like something that would be tagged onto Street Fighter. Yeah. No, it's a Guilty Gear moniker.
That is a Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear 4.5 is...
Yeah, Burst Climax.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Burst Climax.
Yeah.
Let's rock!
I'm going to pick Not Disappointing, Just Soul Crushing, because it's too good.
I love Dr. Blowout, though.
I do too, but I don't want that to be a title. Let's save that for the pre-show.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 416, for October 12, 2015.
Ting, 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 ting.
Take 2.
Yeah.
This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 416, for October 12th, 2015. Not disappointing, just soul-crushing.
Thank you, 2015.
Oh, my soul!
Oh, my spleen. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Always appreciate everybody coming and chatting with us.
Mm-hmm.
We love you all.
You're the best.
Thank you for keeping 2015 good. I'm going to look at the camera. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keeping 2015 great. And thank you to Roscoe P. Soul Train for having just a great name.
Indeed.
All right, we'll see you all next week. Bye.